Hello dear viewers, welcome to our Natural Television News. I'll bring to you our news headlines in a bit. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned suspected attacks on oil tankers near the Strait of Hormuz. The ships, one Marshall Island flagged and the other Panama flagged, were on their way to Taiwan and Singapore from Qatar and Saudi Arabia respectively. Mr. Guterres said, "I note with deep concern this morning's security incident in the Strait of Hormuz." Guterres told the Security Council. He stressed that he strongly condemned any attack against civilian vessels. Facts must be established and responsibilities clarified. If there is something the world cannot afford, it is a major confrontation in the Gulf region, he added. Roughly 1/3 of the world's liquefied natural gas and 1/5 of its oil consumption pass through the Strait of Hormuz each day, making it a vital transit way to global energy supplies. The suspected attacks near the strait are the second in as many months. The first new generation Microsoft Technology Center of Middle East and Africa region was launched in Turkish metropolis Istanbul on Thursday. Addressing the opening ceremony, Industry and Technology Minister Mustafa Varank said the new plant is expected to add 2.5 billion Turkish liras, $430 million value to the national economy. The new center proof of confidence in Turkey will meet the needs of domestic and international markets through new generation technologies to be produced in various fields like agriculture, production, health, energy, finance and retail, according to Varank. I quote Mr. Ali, "We will take all the necessary steps to make Turkey one of the main countries of new technologies such as digital transformation and artificial intelligence," he said. Ali Taha Koch, head of the Presidential Digital Transformation Office, said the launch of the center is an exemplary step for international companies who plan to invest in Turkey. A group of people wearing white clothing symbolizing Ihram circle a makeshift Kaaba. It was during a demonstration on Thursday that was organized by Al Haramain Watch to protest against Saudi Arabia for blocking citizens of various Arab countries from attending the annual Hajj pilgrimage at the Shumain Square in front of the European Commission headquarters in Brussels, Belgium. Turkey disapproves France's close cooperation with the PKK and YPG terror groups, Turkish Foreign Minister reassures. Mr. Mevlut Çavuşoğlu made the remarks at a joint news conference with his French counterpart, Jean-Yves Le Drian, after a bilateral meeting in the capital Ankara. Commencing on an attack on a Turkish army observation point in Idlib, Syria, early today, which left 3 soldiers wounded, Çavuşoğlu said. "It is a deliberate act of aggression. It is more than 30 years terror campaign against Turkey. The PKK, listed as a terrorist organization by Turkey, the US and the European Union, has been responsible for the death of early 40,000 people, including women and children. The YPG in its Syrian offshoot," he added that it is not possible to say there is complete ceasefire in Syria's Idlib at the moment. Le Drian extended support to Turkey on the ceasefire in Idlib, commenting that its implementation should be ensured. Turkish Armenian fast television station has hit the airwaves, according to Aram Kuran, the journalist spearheading the project. He said every Friday night, for the first time in Turkey, we are broadcasting news in Western Armenia, the station's chef, referring to one of the 2 branches of Armenian language. He added that we are also live broadcasts 2 days a week. Mr. Aram said they hope to expand the program schedule. A multi-ethnic, multicultural society has a sizable population of ethnic Armenians. Smoke rises from the sites of Houthi positions hit by Saudi-led coalition airstrikes in response to an attack by Yemeni Houthi rebels on an airport in southern Saudi Arabia in Sana'a, Yemen. A baby born prematurely, weighing just 750 grams at the time of birth, has been successfully treated and sent home after 80 days in intensive care. The baby's mother, Songur Sandikchi, said the baby was born prematurely in the 25th week of pregnancy at a hospital in Trabzon in the country's Black Sea region and is now heading home weighing 2.4 kilograms. Sandikchi said that she suffered miscarriage twice due to cervical insufficiency. The doctor also added that baby Hassan was attached to a medical and mechanical ventilation in the first 10 days to regulate breathing activities. The doctor pointed out that premature babies could experience problems in sight, hearing and brain development, adding that routine controls in hospitals must be carried out. Ethiopia is now in its fourth day of an internet blackout, but whereas on Tuesday and Wednesday the service had resumed temporarily, it did not return after it had been shut down on Thursday. The text message service also remains blocked. A state-run monopoly phone provider, Ethiopian Telecom, has said that it did not have a mandate to comment on the blackouts. The closure of the services coincided with nationwide exams. There has been speculation that the internet blackout is aimed at trying to stop people cheating, but this has not been confirmed by the authorities. Tanzania's finance minister has announced a 25% tax on all imported wigs and hair extensions, a 10% tax on those made in the country in a bid to raise more revenue. Philip Mpango announced the measures, which should come in at the beginning of next month as part of its annual budget statement on Thursday. Wigs, most of which come from overseas, are commonly worn by women in the country. The cheapest wig currently costs around $4, but they can go up to $130. Mr. Mpango also ended the exemption on value-added tax being placed on sanitary towels. He said it was because consumers had not benefited from the lower price, as businesses did not reduce what they charged when the exemption was introduced. Many women have taken to Tanzania's WhatsApp groups to complain about the new measures, accusing the government of punishing them. After 10 days of growing condemnation, Sudan's military rulers say they regret that some mistakes happened during the operation to clear the protest sit-in, but apparently not sufficient regret to allow an independent international investigation. Instead, the regime says it will announce the results of its own probe on Saturday and that it has already arrested some officers. The opposition and many in the international community will suspect a cover-up. There is now a growing diplomatic effort involving the United States and the African Union to achieve a political solution and transition to civilian rule. The generals are rhetorically committed to civilian government, but nothing in their actions over the last months has indicated they intend to give up control. Thank you so much for being with us. Natural Television News from Ankara in Turkey. I am Sauda Muganga. Thanks for watching.